Hi, and welcome to Oracle Storytelling. Hi, I'm Sarah of Sarah Wing Intuitive Arts, and welcome to the Road So Far edition, the Journey So Far edition, the oh my god, I'm sitting in this complete mystery. What the hell? I'm not that comfortable. What the heck? I don't really love this edition. Hi. So, um, this is my second start. I had some technical difficulties, but I am back. You didn't even know I was gone, did you? Wow. Hi. So I'll be telling a story today, and I'm going to tell a story where we are starting in this space of like not knowing, in this more like this space of transition where there's a little uneasiness, and I'm going to be using The Little Devil Gets Sick, The Ravens Return, and I don't feel like it, and finishing with The Universe Always Has a Plan. Because we kind of got to get through like the mucky, icky stuff before we can kind of be receptive and open to something saying, you know, receive this, be witness, be seen. More of a positive message. And then the decks that I'm going to use are the Alice in Wonderland Oracle, the Flowers of the Night Oracle, and the Mantra Healing deck. Again, because we're going to end just in a more positive place, and we'll just see what we learn along the way. When I started filming before, I shuffled the cards, so I already have the cards out. And what I'm going to do is use two of the Alice in Wonderland Oracle, one from the Flowers of the Night Oracle, and one from the Healing Mantra deck, which I did not pull yet. So, oh, and I pulled a charm too. Stupid video. Okay, so I pulled the rabbit charm. Now, just kind of think about this little guy here and what this rabbit might mean to you. So it could be a literal rabbit. It could be, you know, like it's a little like brown bunny, like a little chocolate Easter bunny. You could be, for your zodiac, could be a bunny. You could have this bunny as an image on something that you love, related to, you know, music or something that you celebrate within your own culture, whatever it may be. So just keep in mind this little brown bunnies and what comes up for you. And because we got the brown bunny, I'm starting with the Alice in Wonderland Oracle, because Alice followed a rabbit, white rabbit, but still, we're gonna go with, I'm calling bunny but rabbit. So, first card that we got is Lead the Way. So, it's Lead the Way. Be a leader, show others how it's done. You can help others. So we see Alice here, and I mean, look at her. She literally has, you know, these animals are flocking to her, and she looks welcoming, and she's kind of, you know, in repose and relaxed, and open to them. But at the same time, this is a call to lead the way. So it's kind of asking like to maybe this to you means like, I need leadership, you know, in my job, and I need to, you know, take command of my, you know, employment or my employees or my work, whatever I'm doing. In general though, when when you're showing others how it's done, I mean, you're living your life. You're a living example, right? And the things that you value, that you want to give to the world, you know, show others how it's done, to be in compassion, to be in grace, right? To be in healthy alignment, to speak your voice, to whatever it is that you want to be more in leadership with, you know. And it could be something like, it could just be like, yeah, I need to speak my voice more, you know. I need, you know, whatever it is for you. But this is kind of that feeling of, you know, this is the beginning. This is kind of the call to say, you know, gather yourself up, you know, to be. And maybe, you know, it's one of those mini hero's journeys for you. You know, it's the journey is what, you know, is how the hero becomes the hero, right? What forms you along the way allows you to arrive where, you know, you need to be and do the things you need to do. If you just arrive there the moment you're like, oh, I'm going to go on a hero's journey, and you got there, you wouldn't have anything to offer that you'll learn on the journey. You just show up with the same amount of knowledge and the same lack of knowledge that you need once you're there. So, okay. So the number is 12, and our first book is The Little Devil Gets Sick. So let's kind of see what is the headspace of, you know, where are we? Where's our headspace? Okay. He took turns sitting in front of each one. I feel cozy, he said. No, I feel awful. I need help. Perfect. Because it's a storybook, I have to show it, right? Amazing. So, yeah, exactly. It's like we have this call, right? We have something outside or inside of ourselves, however it shows up, saying, you know, show others the way, be a leader, you know. And it's like, okay, yeah, all right, okay. And you kind of, you see or feel or just know the people in your life that are showing up for you, that you want to show up for, right? And so where's our head at? It's, you took turns sitting in front of each one. So let's say in your life, you're in front of these different people, right? And at a certain point, you're going along, you're in the flow, you're feeling good. And you check in with yourself, how am I doing? I feel cozy. And maybe you're just, I feel cozy. And then something happens and it kicks you out of alignment. It triggers you, it throws you out of balance, it confuses the F out of you. You are in the mystery, you are uncomfortable. Boom, that was it. That was suddenly it. And no, I feel awful. So it's, I feel cozy, like I got this, I can navigate this, I got it. And you have this, at a certain point, your innate knowing turns into an arrogance or confidence that your nervous system just can't back up, can't hold its own. And you're taking on too much, right? You're doing too much. And it goes from, I feel cozy to, no, I feel awful. I need help. And that's a really good turning point because you want to show up, right? And you want to show up for yourself first and foremost, but you want to show up for the people around you. Because it's important. And in whatever ways that we show up for people that are close to us, or people that we don't even know, however you practice it, showing up for people, it's important, right? So you say, I need help. That's the first part. admitting like you need some help. You need to take care of yourself. And what does that mean? What does that mean? Okay, Alice, what does it mean? Yeah. Do not drink the poison. Do not do things that you know are bad for you. So here's Alice. She's like, no, I feel awful. Here we are. No, I need help. So you might see this and think, she's not drowning, but she's not in the best place, right? It's acknowledging you're in this place of like, okay, I've acknowledged like, I drank the poison, you know, I drank the poison of exhausting or pushing my nervous system. I drank the poison of maybe addiction, chemical, physical. There's so many different addictions. People, if you're doing something obsessive compulsively, don't just say it's OCD. You know, there's an addictive quality. Why are you pushing, running yourself until you max out doing X, Y, and Z? You know, and is it one thing or is it coupled things where, you know, this one thing wasn't enough, so now you've added a second thing to exhaust yourself, you know, and these are the things that you just, you know, and then so here she is. She's like, I need help. And I mean, I think it's clear, right? Alice needs help. Like, we need some help, okay? We need some help. We're not comfortable. We're like, I need help. And it's the first thing is, or the second step after you admit, like, I'm, you know, I feel awful, is stop doing the things that are bad for you, right? So then you actually have to take responsibility, you know. Self-responsibility is huge. And I think it's an endless thing to explore, and you can always find new layers of how to be responsible for yourself. And it will be, and it is something that you can only better yourself and love yourself more from. And we've all been around people when they're, you know, we see, you know, when they're drinking the poison, when they're pushing themselves, when it's, you know, when it's all the time. And, you know, when we care about people, we it's so easy to see it in others, right? That we see them drinking the poison. We see them exhausting themselves in one way or another, pushing themselves, these things they're addicted to, they're just nonstop, distractions. But we typically don't see it in ourselves until we feel awful, right? And our nervous system is shot. And even, you know, our best intentions take a turn when we're exhausting ourselves, right? So don't drink the poison. What's your poison? You're watching this, you have one, you're a human being. When's the last time you blew out your nervous system? You felt awful, okay? So stop. It's basically saying like, okay, you said you didn't feel good. Why? This is why. Stop it. You know, and then the idea of you're being told you have to stop. That's that could be a really heavy place to be in, you know, because there's a lot of dependency comes with addiction. And this is 8, so I'm going to look up page 8 in The Raven's Return. The influence of psychological trauma on individuals and culture. So we are just going to go into it, okay? This card is just saying, let's dive in. Let's dive into it. You know, let's really get into it, because stuff's going to bubble up. You know, stuff is bubbling up. And, you know, at a certain point, it's going to reach, you know, at a certain point, we don't have to look down. We're going to, you know, it's going to hit our throat. It's going to be in our mouth. It's going to be in our eyes. You know, there's no avoiding. There's no avoiding it at some point. At some point, there's no avoiding it. So page 8. Classes of trauma. Because a trauma complex can be identified by the associations it comprises, it follows that an individual's psychological trauma can be classified according to associations to collective trauma experiences of a similar kind. Psychological traumas can indeed be classified in the most general way by the similar associations that they have, given the levels of intensity at which they occur. Okay, so let's break that down a bit. So maybe right now you're being triggered and re-traumatized. Maybe past trauma is being recycled, coming up in your nervous system. Maybe you have anxiety and worry that you're going to be re-traumatized, you know, that patterns are repeating themselves. You know, maybe what this is, you know, don't do the things that are bad for you. Maybe it's you're really worried. You have a lot of anxiety and you're running on an anxiety wheel, you know, and the things that concern you, you know, you're just wishing would resolve, you know, you're wishing like you could hear the answer, know the answer, and have the answer revealed. And, you know, it feels really uncomfortable and really scary not to have the answers. And so it could be anxiety, you know, and concern and like just the idea of like past traumas and going how, you know, trying to exhaust yourself to avoid worst case scenarios. And, you know, it's harmful to get locked in your head like that. It's physically harmful, and we all do that. I do that. It's painful. It really is painful. It's very painful. But at the same time, you know, I'm not saying that, you know, we're not innately intelligent of where we can intuit and know when certain things are gonna come in our lives. Now, to know the difference between obsessive, you know, worry, like being concerned, and just feeling like crap, that's definitely a spiral that once you're in, you know, it's good to pull yourself out of. And, you know, I mean, it's ebbs and flows. So there will be some things that happen that are happier and some things that are, you know, harder. And sometimes it can be like a really steep pivot from the ebbs and flows. So, you know, we do our best. And how I'm feeling now is I'm not feeling super great. But I'm feeling it so I can feel the next thing and the next thing and just try, you know, foot by foot, finding my way out of my head and back into my heart and back into you know, being a little more open and yeah, I'm in a great place. So let's see. All right. So basically we're like, hey, we want to do these great things and be there for the people we want to be there for. But, you know, we just got we noticed that something's off and, you know, our nervous system got pushed and pulled and, you know, feeling a little blindsided, feeling out of alignment. Okay, I need help. All right. Yeah. Okay, here we go. What's the poison? What can we personally be responsible for, right? Like, you know, there's a lot of harmful things in life, and we can't avoid all kinds of harm, but, you know, we can try to minimize the harm by harming ourselves less, even when we feel harmed, right? Right. So let's see. All right, man. So we are like in, you know, we're in the group therapy. We're doing it, right? We're kind of like, I mean, we put ourselves there, right? And we're like, okay, I guess we'll get into therapy and we'll be open to it. And I guess we'll start looking at what is my self-responsibility in this. And, you know, and it's definitely not to worry myself or stress myself out to beyond what those bumps that happen, you know, when we push ourselves. So let's see where we go next with the Flowers of the Night Oracle. This is really good. Okay, this is power. Yes, power. So this is good. This is power. This is the Queen of the Night. This is the Queen of the Night. So what I'm seeing is now that we're open to it, we're open to the mystery, this cloaking night, right? We have to go through the night to get to the next day. We just have to. That's how it works. And we can close ourselves down half the time and then open ourselves back up. But we can't do that all the time. You know, if we're in like a healing cycle, if we're integrating, if we're processing, you know, yeah, we might open and close, but we're open now. We're like, listen, I know that I'm hurting. I know something's wrong. I need help looking at myself. What can I do? Yeah, there's all this distractive stuff, and I wish I could, you know, I wish I knew. And, you know, you're going to get those answers when you get them. Hopefully you get them. But this is like, but I'm going to stay open. So in this time of mystery, in this darkness, I'm going to stay open. I'm going to stay open, and I'm going to have this badass snake by my side. You know, it's this, my Kundalini is going to be rising, man. I've got the power to, you know, be, you know, and maybe power to be between worlds, live in two worlds, you know, be present and there for myself. And, you know, this wanting to be there for myself and be there for other people, right? And trying to figure out, like, how do I balance that when I've, you know, been shaken out of balance? But we're open to it. We're like, okay, here, yep, here's the poison. I'm showing all my cards, you know, and dealing with whatever comes up with that. You know, what's your, you know, what's the thing that has pushed your system? What is the thing that you need to heal to feel better? And just being open to the idea that, you know, when you're there for yourself and you're doing this work, that you will then be with others who you can be there for, and they can be there for you. Because that's power. And self-responsibility in general is self-empowerment. And it is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. And you can never stop learning layers to self-responsibility. And the more you do, man, it'll wake you up like a snake wrapped around your leg in the middle of the night. You know, having more self-awareness is having more self-responsibility. Is seeing more self-responsibility and giving you the option to be that much more responsible, which is fantastic, because it is, in the end, it is empowering. And if you're like me, if you're somebody who's highly sensitive, highly intuitive, psychic, very attuned, empath, and you have you walk around with an inferior ego, that's inferior ego. One of the ways that I am drawn to for the idea of even power or empowerment is through self-responsibility. You know, my beautiful spiritual teacher, who I love so much, Matt Kahn, once was saying how, you know, you're this energetically sensitive being, you know, you wouldn't hurt a fly, you wouldn't even dream of it, but you were like completely terrified of your own power. And I think a lot of empaths are like that. You know, our own power, our own self-empowerment, you know. I mean, some of us could be like, I can look at the world and I can give it light and hold space, and hey you're beautiful, and I see into your soul and I see into all your souls, and man, I just, it's amazing. Wow, are you amazing? Yeah. But again, like, to look at our own power, yeah, I don't know. I think it's something that definitely, for me at least, it's been very helpful for me to look at it through the lens of self responsibility, and nice to kind of join it with self-empowerment. So what is anything? So let's see, man. Okay, it looks like we are really rising to the occasion. That's what I'm getting here, because that's what it looks like. So let's see. I'm using the page number from the book to get the next page number from this book. 73. And you know, I'm going to read part of what this card says actually, which is, when this flower appears, it indicates that a much anticipated new beginning has arrived. Oh, everyone. Yay. Everyone's angels are cheering. We're like, oh, a new beginning? Yes. And we're like, if we're still in it, we're like, will it give us those things that we were kind of like, you know, like wanting to know about? Like, is that still going to happen? Is everything okay? And it's okay. We need to still clear out all of the worry, right? But this appears, it indicates a much anticipated, and aren't we just all in anticipation, new beginning has arrived, or a huge blockage has been moved from your path. Oh, yes, power, huge blockage removed, anticipated new beginning. Amazing. And I have, you know, a few of those that I'm really, really aware of. And in the same vein, and sometimes in the same exact thing, I have no idea what the hell's going on. But I think that's how it works a lot. So, use 73. We're in a good place. Yeah, we're moving it. We're like, you know what? I'm going to get out of this. I can do this. You know, we're kind of starting to step in to more alignment, to feel more aligned, to be able to show up for others, to show up for ourselves. 73. The heck? Christmas, first name, Christmas Humphreys said, "We are punished by what we do, not because of it. Given that, it's up to us to choose the life we want to have and then have it." How freaking perfect is that? That's so perfect. Yeah, so I mean, you know, we want to make these, you know, the power moves, you know, these power moves. The power move we need to make is the self-responsibility, as far as I'm concerned, power empowerment move. Taking self-responsibility. Because the more we do that, the more self-empowerment we have, and the more self-esteem, self-worth, and direction. And we're not getting distracted by, again, inferior ego, empath, sensitive people. Where sometimes we're like, you have so much worth. Oh, look at everyone has so much worth. And we're not hating on ourselves. But like, I don't know. Sometimes it's like we're giving away our whole pot of gold and then we come up feeling like crap. Anybody follow that analogy? That's fine. Anyway, Christmas Humphreys says, "We are punished by what we do, not because of it. Given that, it is up to us to choose the life we want to have and then to have it." So yeah, it's up to us to take self-responsibility, right? So Do we want to live a life where we, give up on ourselves? Don't befriend ourselves, don't love ourselves, where we accept, somebody else's status quo or poor treatment of us, or, some people that try to fit themselves into other people's, identities, or, lower, that whole like lower your vibration to fit, to, and sometimes that's, if you're doing that through an addiction, if you're trying to suppress yourself to kind of not measure up, but measure down to an abusive influence in your life. But it's up to us to choose the life we want to have. And I am trying to speak about it in a very internal way because it's really easy to think of it in a very external way. The life we want, the people, the people we want in our lives, right? The kind of house we live in, the kind of job, the kind of work we do, the kind of, pleasures we take in, the sights we see, places we go, general atmosphere we're in, but really it's so perfect, and it is, and I truly believe it. And I'm sure this is another thing I'm quoting via something Matt Kahn. But the truth is, how you feel now, emotionally, how you are now, how you navigate, the time that you have had on this earth up till now, who you are, mentally, emotionally, this being that you are, if like that, you got every single thing you wanted. Every single thing. Say you want a mansion, suddenly you're living in a mansion or a palace, and you have all this money, you have, maybe something super stereotypical, like, you have all this wealth and all these cars and planes, something like that. If you had everything in an instant that you could ever want, you would still feel exactly the way you do now. And I think that's something that, if that's hard to kind of like wrap your head around, or if your ego's like pushes back right away and goes, no, there's like no way, like it doesn't make any sense, like why, like if I had everything I wanted right now, I'd feel amazing. The way you feel in your body emotionally, your emotional maturity, your general awareness, like everything that you've cultivated to navigate, to be in your body, to love or hate yourself to whatever degree, in any arena, love or hate your mind, your body, your any part of yourself. If suddenly every single thing you got appeared at your feet, none of that's going to change. You're going to feel exactly that same way, with a lot of shiny distractions. And that's also kind of, the case for like divine timing, which is, sometimes when we're in the flow and we feel it, the job hits at the perfect time, the place happens at a perfect time, these external things, we feel it in the flow, right? When we didn't get the thing the day before or the day before, right? We got the thing on the day when it makes so much sense. The person enters your life when it makes so much sense, it just, you feel it, it sinks in, it's this flow. And dropping everything you want, which is everything, not everything you need, but everything you want in your lap, is like dropping a bomb. And it is way more likely that you will be for sure unprepared emotionally. No idea, unprepared. It'll be more like dropping a bomb in your lap. Anyway, so yeah, we are punished by what we do, not because of it. Okay, we're doing some really hard work here, and we're ready to kind of be more aligned, choose the life we want, right? By choosing ourselves. That's all we can do. Is to keep choosing ourselves and choosing ourselves in so many new ways every day and learning how to choose ourselves better, right? Self-responsibility. This isn't like, being self-focused or selfish, anything like that. It's not, detriment to the welfare of others, being aggressively abusive or passively abusive and being neglectful of people. It's not that kind of self-focus. It's self-responsibility. It's showing up for yourself in a way where you are responsible for everything that you do. And giving that living example for others. And it's not a perfect, it's an it's not going to be a 24/7 attainable goal. We're going to keep learning things and be in that ebb and flow, but we got this. We got this. We're getting that little like sparkle, like confidence, yeah, we can do this. So let's pull another charm. Okay, all right, perfect. So here we go. This is a bat because we are stepping up to the plate. I almost said, yeah, boy, and now I did. Great. I was going to say, yeah, honey, but anyway. So we're stepping up to the plate. We got the bat, right? Now, we're not in charge of, how the next pitch is going to come at us, who's going to throw that next ball, but we're up. We've been called. We have, been called, so we signed up for the team. We went to practice. We're practicing. This is as much as I can sport. And then we get on the team. We're in the dugout. We got our uniform on, and it's our turn. So we're going up to bat now. We're ready to bat. We're not responsible for, again, we don't know what kind of pitch is going to come at us, but we're stepping up to the bat. So let's grab a healing mantra card and let's see what we're taking a swing at, because it's going to be something good. It's going to be something great. And this is good. We're doing really, really good, and I'm very happy for us. All right. Plate. Whew. Okay. I'll take all these. I'll take all of them. We are growing beyond guilt. It couldn't have happened any other way. One of these is going to hit you. Maybe all three will. Growing beyond guilt. It couldn't have happened any other way. And if you are wrestling with anything or feeling like time is just not your best friend right now, and you want to be best friends again, hear that truth. It couldn't have happened any other way or in any other timing, right? We are, crack of a bat noise, balancing the brain. Let's do it. I can be and do all at once. And that kind of just makes me think of like, getting our monkey mind, our mind that we're hurting ourselves with, that's giving us negative messages, whether they're from past experiences, fears of past trauma or past experiences, past hurt, messages that you're getting from other people that you're recycling in your brain, new worries, whatever it is, from yourself or others, whatever you're recycling, we are now saying, no. Because when we're out of balance or we're feeling depression, we need to, hear ourselves integrate what we need to integrate, and then we're back to I can be and do all at once. Absolutely. Absolutely. Can be and do all at once. Because we're balancing our brain and we're not feeling that stuck limitation. We're not feeling that fight, flight, or freeze, right? Which, it's talked about a lot for a reason, because it is still a major move. Not just in traumatizing situations, but in everyday situations. Still a lot of people just react, fight, flight, or freeze. And that's why it's super good to go through, a process of self-examination, where we look at what we're doing to harm ourselves and clear that out, because it's very destructive patterns for ourselves and others in our lives. It just is. It's a very destructive thing. And awaking inspired action. This is a nice flow to it too. There is only what life is asking of me. Boom. Bat drop. Like, there's only what life is asking of me. That's amazing. Wow. So there's only what life is asking of you. So whatever's showing up in your life, you want this, that, and the other right now. But what's actually in your life right now? What is life asking of you? And it's going to be a lot less intimidating, a lot less rough on you, a lot less demanding. It's going to be a lot more nurturing. What life is asking of you is to be where you're at, feeling safe with time, learning to breathe, because when we're with our breath, we are safe. And we are present. And being where you're at, feeling safe where you're at, knowing this is where you're supposed to be. Why? Because you are. And loving and living through self-responsibility. Trusting that, you've got this even when you don't got it. Because that's how you get the next thing. You need to figure out this one. So I'm just going to end with, let's kind of like do a little divination on the universe always has a plan. So just in case your last thought is, there is only what life is asking of me, and you want like, well, what's the manifesto? I'd like to check off at least 100 things by Tuesday, right? Is there like, maybe like an advanced course I could take? Ego just needs to quiet, chill for 1 second. Another great Matt one is, the idea that, the things that you're going to meet in life, the certain people that you're going to cross and build relationships with, there's certain things that are going to meet you, right? You can't get there any faster than you're going to get there, and these things that you want, and maybe, you sense them, right? And you feel them coming in, and it's so strong and true. And I know I have that, I sense people coming into my life, and it can be extremely strong. But, I can't rush, and, they'll show up when they show up. And they can't, these meetings, these important meetings, they can't happen without you. You can't miss them. You really, really can't. You can't. You cannot. Yeah. Even if you don't believe it, just hear it. Like, you cannot miss meeting the important, meets in your life. The places that inspire you, the people that help you grow through various means. The things that inspire you to cultivate more love, out of whatever circumstances that arise. So I'm just gonna divine like a little page out of the book, and we'll see what plan does the universe have for us. For anyone that's like, just tell me what it is. Okay. Oh, Lord. Okay. Yeah, wow. Well, this is perfect. This is absolutely perfect and exactly what I was saying, so this is perfect. So, I then realized that my declaration was only a reminder of the parking space that was waiting for me. So, I know he's talking about sensing something that's coming, right? You sense something, like you intuit it. You could think like it's a remembrance of what's to come. You're sensing it coming in. You have an awareness of it, an intuition for it. I then realized my declaration was only a reminder of the parking space that was waiting for me. It wasn't as if the parking space didn't exist before I declared it. It was already meant to be. There are many of us who have made bold declarations to manifest specific outcomes into reality. Perfect, right? Oftentimes we declare life will be a specific way, don't we? I try to not do that, and less in my life. So the times when I do it, it kind of hits me like a mallet. No, like a sledgehammer. Kind of in getting out of being hit with the sledgehammer mode, I think. There are many of us who have made bold declarations to manifest specific outcomes in reality. Another word for that in my mind right now is how I'm feeling it is like wanting, just wanting certain outcomes, even if it's like, it can be like little things. It doesn't even have to be big things. Oftentimes we declare life will be a specific way. And when it doesn't unfold as planned, we think the law of attraction is phony, or we get used to it. The law of attraction is phony, or we use it to get down on ourselves for not being able to attract our desires on command. And so if we're not thinking the law of attraction and you're listening to this, maybe we get down on ourselves, like our self-esteem, we kick ourselves, and our self-esteem of why can't we, why can't we do everything? Why can't we be everything for everyone? Why can't we hold the world on our back? Jeez. As I've stated earlier, every desire is a sneak preview of a reality awaiting your arrival. So yeah, we have this intuition, right? But we don't necessarily know the timing. But it doesn't mean that we're not feeling like these beautiful things, these heartfelt, lovely things we desire. They're on their way when we feel them. And sometimes we get lost in the anticipation or the desire, right? So every desire is a sneak preview of a reality awaiting your arrival. Waiting your arrival. So we have to show up. These things can't come to us without us being there. We're not going to miss them. And we're going to be in the best alignment with ourselves to receive them, to be able to receive them and see them and have them in our lives. Each outcome coming your way is cross-referenced by the emotion you imagine feeling once the thing you are hoping to attract arrives. Let's say you envision a different romantic partner. From the perspective of your vision, so let's say you've had one type of romantic partner, or you block it in your mind like that, and you're like, okay, kind of think like you want a different romantic partner, like what's your dream romantic partner? Right? From this perspective of your vision, you are picturing the qualities and attributes of who you'd like to call into your reality. As you envision this new romance, a feeling of fulfillment engulfs your senses. So we're doing this positive thinking. You can even call it that. Just thinking very positively. And we're bringing in the image. These feelings of they're how all these attributes. They're polite. They're handsome. They're they're really kind. They do this. They do that. They're they make they value you, they treat you well, they express things to you. You have this wonderful partnership, all this, just these beautiful, whatever your happy thoughts are, right? As you envision this new romance, the feeling of fulfillment engulfs your senses. Yeah, it's like, wow, this is great. Oh my God, yeah, let me think about this, like, great person, like, oh my God, like, this person is great. I want this person in my life. As this occurs, the universe takes a snapshot of your vision and searches through the infinite potential of parallel dimensions to deliver you into a reality that allows you to feel as fulfilled as your envisioned feeling. It may include a new partner or an entirely different scenario where you're able to feel as fulfilled as you envisioned feeling, but throughout a set of circumstances more aligned with your soul's path. So that's kind of the twist, right? It's really about being alignment with a feeling you're having, this emotional fulfillment that we're chasing after. So we could be envisioning, so yeah, maybe we're envisioning a type of partnership, but the emotional fulfillment, this emotion that we're really drawn to, is fulfilled through something else, or vice versa. Maybe we're thinking this, like, oh, if I finish this, I have this project, and like the feeling I'm gonna get out of this project is gonna just, be life-changing, and it's gonna open me up in this way. And we're just feeling, and we sense this desire coming in, and we feel it coming in. And then maybe, you end up meeting someone. And that desire and those feelings, and suddenly that's what gives you this openness, And, the project you're working on is just like, hey, that's a bonus at this point. Now you have this person who's like, letting you, allowing or holding space for like this even more openness to you, that will feed into, what initially you thought would be this, this feeling you're chasing. So it's an interesting way to think about it. So it's kind of like, we go on this journey where, it's like, coach called me up, wants me on the team. Coach calls us up, wants us on the team. Or coach whatever that means to you. Coach calls us up. So we really have to look at ourselves and go, okay, I want this, but how do I actually get there? How do I prepare myself? What can I do in this in-between time? And then we see ourselves on the other side of it, and we are awakened to inspired action. We have balanced our brain. We have grown beyond guilt, We know it couldn't have happened any other way. There's a level of acceptance somewhere on some level. We know I can be and do all at once. I don't have to go and fight, flight, or freeze, which it, I don't know, if it's something that you're aware of a lot, and you just watch a lot of people do fight, flight, or freeze all the time. It's it's not that I never act that way. I definitely do. But for me, I think it's more an extreme. It's more like trauma or extreme situations. 'Cause I'm too constantly conscious and seeking to be aware all the time, and it's really interesting because maybe it's something you don't notice in people or as much before, but now you see it more during the pandemic. fight, flight, or freeze. But I don't know. I think it's a really common response that people can just spend their whole lives using as navigational tools. And if you're someone who's more sensitive or more wants to be more awake or aware to things, or you naturally just are, right? It's that much more important to know that, you know, you can show others how it's done. And, you know, all you can do is show up for yourself, be responsible for yourself, and show others how it's done. And in the divine timing of everything, you know, everyone will figure it out eventually. But, you know, it's in their own timing. It really is. And isn't that just a super fun, not fun thing to think about sometimes? So I guess, I don't know, happy healing. And, oh, well, here's a little rose quartz heart for anyone that needs a little extra love. And, we can do this. We can, you know, get our laurel wreath. We can stand tall and say, hey, we've done it. And really make, you know, take that journey. Take that journey. And, the road so far may feel rough, and that's okay, because the life we choose can feel and you know will can help guide and steer us towards amazing experiences. And when things show up, you know, pay attention, pay a little extra attention. Because what's landed in front of you might be exactly what you've been searching for, the feeling you've been searching for. And if something calls you to explore it more, listen to that. If you cannot fight, flight, or freeze yourself away from it, and be open to it. And what you need will always cycle back. But it's kind of how many times are you climbing that mountain? So, and I just started shuffling, I don't know why, and this card came out. I haven't seen the card before because I don't look at the cards before I use them. So sometimes it'll take me years to see a card in a deck. And it says, you can't go back to yesterday. Damn, Alice. Yes. Bunny says yes. You can't go back to yesterday. Be in the present. If we're going back to yesterday, we are time traveling in our minds, and right now, with just the theme of what I'm talking about, it's not a good thing. We're hurting ourselves. So we can't go back to yesterday, right? Be in the present. And life is asking us, what is life asking us? Life is asking us to, I thought it was on one of these cards. Well, anyway, life is asking us, yeah. We can only do what life is asking of us, and life is asking of us to be in the present. And, you know, be aware of what's around us and live in that, be empowered by that, by our self-responsibility of being in the present. Of being in the present. And we will find empowerment in that, and find a truth in that is self-empowering. And yeah, lots of love, and you, because you are loved always, you are safe always. However you're feeling right now is super valid and completely correct, and please feel it so you can feel something else. And love yourself a little more each day in any way you can. Heal in the ways you can. And you know, don't hurt yourself, don't hurt others. and have a beautiful, beautiful night. And next time I will be in my new place. And it will look different behind me. So take care and good night.